Welcome everybody. This is our next, our March 6th episode of Between Two Teachers, and my name is Consuelo Lara.
I'm Madeline Cronenberg.
And so we are coming to you now from the sacred lands of
the Chochenyo Karkin Ohlone peoples.
Absolutely, we honor them, and it is on their land that we're going to build some new schools and measure our past. So that's, we have so many thank yous and shout outs. Leslie Reckler, her op-ed was excellent. Demetrio, whose sweat and, blood, sweat, and tears went into all the work that he did. There was so many people involved. Who else?
I want to thank, for individuals, one of the electeds who stepped up right at the beginning was Rochelle Pardue Okimoto. I want to thank the organizations that agreed with us when we came and told them how important this was. The West County Democrats, the El Cerrito Democrats.
Yes.
Those two clubs, as well as the Central Committee, the Contra Costa County Democrats. Right?
Yes.
The Democratic Party was completely behind Measure R. And it really did show. Those were big endorsements, but also Richmond Progressive Alliance.
I was just going to say
right?
RPA.
RPA
they walked
was there. They walked it.
Walked our stuff. So.
Public Corps, they were on it instantly and supported it in every way they could. We had, and many of our union partners were all there as well.
My goodness,
so we had the building trades, the Central Labor Council. All of them were unanimously for Measure R, as well as our own, certainly our own teachers union, which is, if we had to say one, the MVP of the entire thing was the teachers union and their president, Demetrio Gonzalez Hoy. And to you, Demetrio, this is it's such a shout out to you. This is an extraordinary effort. This was the little engine that looked like it never could, and yet it did. And it did it against all odds. 70% of the bond measures in the state of California, including Prop 13, which we had talked about here last week.
Yes.
They failed. 70% failed.
That's something.
In Contra Costa County, the only other one that passed was Lafayette. Lafayette passed because it did. Lafayette was a parcel tax.
Wow.
Antioch failed. Moraga failed.
Oh, I thought Antioch was going to win.
No,
wow.
Antioch.
And I'm very disappointed that Jay didn't.
And Jay failed.
Failed.
The ones that passed, this was interesting to me when I was looking at the map of who passed and who didn't pass. The ones that passed were right here on the bay. Albany passed. San Leandro passed. Everybody who was on the bay. And the big one that we cannot not recognize because they passed at 80% is Berkeley, that had 3.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
There's dedication and commitment to education.
So there you go, all the way on the bay, on right, the I-80 corridor, as we've often been called, we had the success. And some of us at different levels. Now, we certainly didn't have the 80% that Berkeley had, but we had the 55% that we needed.
Yes, we did.
So I'm going to call out the cities that helped us.
Yeah,
because I've looked at the numbers. We've looked at numbers here before. And percentage-wise, right, in terms of which cities helped us reach the 55%, the leading group, just because of the percentage of members in this community, was North Richmond, where we got 75%. San Pablo, we got 66%. God bless you, Kensington. Kensington gave us 65%. El Cerrito gave us 60%. Richmond voters, then they were the biggest group. There's 7,300 votes that we got there. That was 59%. And Rollingwood, which is a community out in the county, gave us 58%. Now every vote counted, but those were the communities in particular where Measure R was successful. So now we'll be able to go forward and do all the things that we need in order for our children to be able to have buildings that will be healthy. And in this day and age where we're talking about things being canceled, travel being stopped, groups being stopped. I saw something just an hour or two ago in the coronavirus world that we're in, where first of all, South by Southwest is canceled. That's an enormous thing. That's canceled. Meetings, any meeting over 100 is now, people are looking at whether to cancel or not. I just got my grandson's little show. He had a dance show on Saturday. Just got canceled. Everything's being canceled.
The CBOC was, not CBO, I'm sorry, CSBA, that was canceled. That was supposed to be on the 17th. They've canceled that because of that. So, yeah, it's...
So it shows that we need healthy buildings.
Yes.
This is when we're all going to have to look at how we do our buildings, how we do our lives now around this. So anyhow.
So that's
we are
Measure
thrilled.
R.
That's Measure R.
And I can hardly wait till we get to work on the new facilities master plan. That's the next step. I'm just really, we've got something in place. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can get some real shortcuts to get a really good positive plan together. So that's something that's in the works as well. So shall we go on to, I just want to say a few things about, is that me? That must be me.
Yeah.
About the budget cuts. The next board meeting is March 11th, and I understand there will be a teacher rally, so teachers come on out, speak your truth about what's going on and how this is affecting you. I think that's important. We need to hear that. And you know what occurred to me? Well, a couple of things that we've demanded here between you and I are where are those safety checks, the monitoring, so this does not happen again. We are going to be a broken record about that because they've got to put this in place. And to our dear superintendent and our business CBO, what occurred to me about them is what they do about this is going to follow them everywhere professionally.
Oh, yes.
Don't you think?
I think.
It's not going to be written on your resume, but this is one of the biggest districts in the state of California. You think it's not good, people are not going to know what you accomplish here. So do the right thing by all of our employees and do it well because everybody's watching this.
And do it for the future. I mean, this is the thing. We have this enormous crisis right now, right? That is the budget, and how we move forward from it, and how we rebuild trust. I mean, the wonderful thing we got from Measure R is that the community does still trust us, right? As much as the newspapers and our detractors wish they didn't. Turns out they do, and they came out and they voted, and they voted us over the top. So what that means, I think, for the superintendent and Dr. Wold, is they need to come out with a solid, easily explained, easily understood by the public process that will show this will not happen again.
Yeah.
And if they do anything less than that, then they have failed.
Yeah,
that is a failure on their part, right?
Yeah,
they
basically.
cannot say, oh, don't worry, we took care of it.
Yeah.
They can't say that.
Yep.
You have to show me exactly how it's done. And the fact of the matter is, this is not asking for magic. This is true. There are systems in place that you can use.
Exactly.
And maybe they're cumbersome, and maybe they're hard, and maybe you don't want to use it because it's not what you used before. I don't care. You just have to find one that works, that you can explain, and that our community members can then go on and trust that as much as we've redone how we do our buildings, we've redone how we do operations.
Yes, absolutely.
And that is an absolute, that has to happen.
Has to be done, for sure.
Right, and then we can also share that out with all, because I think what's happened is if you look at all of these different, the different districts that are going through this, there should not be layoffs in California. There shouldn't be layoffs anywhere. And the reason you have layoffs is people put up with the fact that you can overspend your budget. Because if it's not overspending, then what it simply is that you've had additional expenses that there was no way to tell they were coming in. So then you can take that, and that's special ed, and I know that. You take that up to the state and say, here is what we need. We need you to participate in special ed. Here's how much the reason we have this problem is totally special ed. But in our case, it's not totally special ed. Part of it is,
Yeah.
but not all of it. So we need to differentiate it. And with all of the telling of the story that we have received till now,
Yes.
that story has not been told.
No, it has not. And that's what we need
Right?
to do.
And the stages of grief. Like I've gone beyond grief. And now I'm looking at who can fix it.
Yeah, we're rebuilding and we want to make it better, and we can do this. We don't have to reinvent the wheels, like you said.
It's there.
Come on, guys.
It's there.
Let's do it.
And so if you don't do this, then you have to explain why you're not doing it. Then the question is, so Dr. Wold, why is there nothing in your presentation that explains how this will not happen again?
Yeah, that's
And
what people
he
want to
says-
hear.
He says, oh, of course I explained it. Well, no, you didn't. let's see the
Did I
slide.
miss it?
You know how to do a PowerPoint slide. Let's see the slide that has it on there. And that is what we want to say.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, I just want to share, I'm going to these charter schools. I'm doing charter school visits with our charter oversight office, and it's been very enlightening. I go there, I really want, and I look at the ELD program and their reclassification rate numbers, and also special ed. I'm very interested in that. We get a lot of emails concerning special ed at the charters. And then I've also asked questions about their parent engagement and the role that Go plays. I mean, because Go is so prevalent in our committee. I'm sure they must go and organize at the charter schools. So I'll let you know what I found out about that. And I also look at turnover of teachers. And this is the main thing. Where is the innovation? Supposedly they exist because they're doing things we don't do. Where's the innovation? So I look for that. And of course, every place I go, I want their budget. Those first 2 pages, I want to know how much they send to their CMO, how much they're paying in rent, because I think you should know that. Everybody should know that.
Right.
In the whole county,
Right.
everybody should know what the expenses are and who is profiting. Don't believe the lie. There is profit to be made in charter schools. And so those are the things that I kind of look at.
I was just going to say that the way that we do it, the way that it's done in my favorite county now, Santa Clara County, which has that little process. And the only thing they have missing that I would add in there is that they have to say they have to say whether or not, how they pay, how much money they pay for their building. And whether they pay that to the district or whether they pay, they own it themselves and pay it to themselves.
Yes.
Or whether or not they have a landlord. And I think that we should just make the landlord's name public. Why should that be a secret?
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
No.
it's not if it's the district. It's not if it's if you own it, then we know it's owned by you and you're the landlord.
Yeah.
So then it's just that, like, you're sort of protecting this other group of people.
Yeah. Why?
Right? Why would you do
why
that?
is it hidden?
And then what you wind up with sometimes when you look at this list of who the landlord might be, it may be a shell corporation.
Exactly.
But then let's look at
Let's
that.
Look at that. Why is that in place?
And who is behind the shell corporation? So we just need a couple of links in here to say, where is that funding
The
going?
Wizard of Oz. Let's just pull back the curtain and find out who's back there. And, you know, if people could say to me who support charters, I know that he makes millions of dollars on public school funds, and it's okay with me. I still support charters. I would like somebody to tell me that. And then I will leave you alone.
They have to say, I know that he makes that, and I know that it comes out of the public school, and that's why they just fired all those teachers in the public school. And that's okay with me.
That's okay with me. Then, okay, we will agree to disagree.
Exactly.
So that's how that goes. But one of the things I found was I didn't find a lot of reclassification information. For some reason, I don't know, they don't keep that information. And they also, when it came to ELD and special ed, they used the word full inclusion, which means that the kids, they don't have a separate program. They're just in the classroom, and the people come in and help them. And maybe they're pulled out, but there's not a separate program for them. That's the impression I get. So I've got more questions to ask them.
So the issue there is, and this has been brought forward by a number of reports, and that is that within the special ed community, there are children whose needs are greater than others. And the children who have the greatest needs tend to be only in the district schools. And the percentages are much higher. So that's a question to ask. You don't just, you can ask the question, oh yes, we have special ed children. Oh, well, do you have children? How many children come on the bus?
How many
come every day on a bus?
Yeah.
How many children are severely disabled?
Yeah.
That's the kind of question that
we want to look at the percentage you have, and then the percentage we have, and see.
Because the compensation for your special ed children is unfortunately the same for both groups. So you are subsidizing financially. It's a real question as to the kind of financial hit that the district children take.
Yeah. So I've still got a few more to go in the next couple of weeks. And then this was interesting too about their parent engagement. And I asked also if they have any parents on their governing board, like Manzanita is all.
Yeah.
And they didn't know, some of them, or they said, I think we're going to try to do that, or just very vague kind of answers. And I asked each of them about the organization GO, since they're an advocacy group, if they come in and organize your parents. And they said, no, they don't. Oh, they're around here, they pass out some little papers, the booklets and things like that, but that's about it. They don't really. And so it just affirms what I suspected, and that is that GO is a recruitment tool for the charter schools, and that they're coming in, they're organizing parents along the line of criticism and just negative response to everything, and then so that they can just recruit them to come up to go to the charter. So that's kind of where I think they, what their purpose is, clearly, because they're not there for anything else. And then the other thing I looked for was innovation. And, I taught for 38 years, and I didn't see everything's great, because these are great best practices. I saw cooperative learning, I saw project-based learning. That's what everybody's doing. So I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary, really. They have more funding, so they can have more resources, so they can have more individuals there, which is more money. That's innovative. No, in terms of teaching and learning and instruction, I'm not finding. If anything, I heard one ask us, or ask the office, do you have any classes we can go and watch about ELD or this or that? And I thought, well, that's weird. It's supposed to be the other way around.
Yes, it is.
You're learning from them, but
that's the whole purpose. It's supposed to be the other way around. And so now, actually, from the charter school bills that were passed last year, one of the things in our favorite bill, 1505, was that they have to not be duplicating a program that already exists, which seems to be all they're doing.
That's all I'm finding. I'm not finding
anything. The innovation means that you are honestly doing something incredibly different.
Innovation,
whatever that might be.
Not duplication.
Right? And so when you go into a school and all you see a school that is duplicating what we already do, then we don't need it to be a charter. There's no reason for that to exist.
Yeah. So there was that, and then the last thing I just thought this was so sad. the three schools that I went to, they don't have libraries. Charter schools don't have libraries. Well, I'm going to go look at the others, but
so they may have.
But just the idea of having a school without a library just seems sad to me.
And when you asked about it, right?
I did, and they said, we have a cart, and we have the mobile library comes around, and there's libraries in the.
The city library, the Richmond Mobile Library, City of Richmond Library.
Yeah. So I'm going to find out. Maybe they have a great library. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm discovering so much and learning so much about our charter school. So
It's
yeah,
an interesting
those are my visits. Yeah.
hunt
Yeah.
to learn these things.
Yes.
So we need you to share, like, and subscribe to our channel. Somebody might even get up to where we have 40 subscribers.
Yes, please do. Oh, should we announce? Well, now we have to. That we're going to be back to the classroom,
Oh, yes.
or back to the classroom.
Yes.
Okay.
We are going to bring some. So here we are, two teachers, and we've done a lot of chatting, but we haven't done very much teaching specifically. So for those of you who knew me as a teacher, and I know there are some of my students who watch this, yes, I'm bringing back the PowerPoints. And I've got some PowerPoints on different issues that we want to talk about. So we're going to do some teaching and do between two teachers in the classroom, and we'll just be talking about how things work. And you might guess that some of the things we're going to talk about are charter schools.
Right. Well, the privatization in general of public education, because we are supporters and protectors of public school funds, and anything that's going to hurt that, we want to find out what's going on. Why is these things happening? And it's complicated. It's a very complicated thing. That's why people don't.
So there's a story, just like everything else. There's a story that got us to where we are, and then there's, that's how you know what the plans need to be to move forward.
There's history, and there's all of that. So we've got that in the works. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that to people's attention.
Yes, but definitely something to
look forward to. All righty.
Now time for our corniest joke ever. This is another item that we're going to ask people to supply us. If you have a corniest joke ever, you can send it to us. You can comment on this very video. You can comment wherever you're seeing it, in LinkedIn, you can comment in YouTube, you can comment on Facebook. And we will say who gave us this joke if you want us to. We will give you a big Between Two Teachers shout out. So this is going to show you how bad it has to be, because you're going to hear this joke now.
Beep, 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 beep. Corny joke of the day. Who is the leader of the Kitty Communist Party?
Who is the leader of the Kitty Communist Party? I don't know. Who?
Chairman Meow.
There you are. Thanks so much.
Oh my goodness. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Lord, kill me now.
So maybe I'll put a picture of Chairman Meow next to the Measure R or something. Thank you.
How about a kitty with a star, a hat with
Many